to the Nerdiverse. Go ahead, sit and listen to the masters, the old heads, talk about what you love the most. Video games, comics, movies, and everything you need to maintain. We got the knowledge that's straight out the ether. Gonna need a drink and have to take a seat to expand your mind and listen to the speaker. Mike and the squad's gonna give you what you need. Please send in a question, come and get some answers, learn a couple lessons from the masters with the special guests. We got the Green Lanterns glowing on their chest. Yes, please sit back and relax, cause we're gonna hit you with them stone cold facts and allow me to be the very first to welcome you to the masters of the Nerdiverse. Welcome to Masters of the Nerdiverse, where we always have such sights to show you. You can find this spooky podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, SoundCloud, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and Google Play. Maybe even Spotify. I'm, of course, your host, Mike G. And with me, as always, is our scary co-host, Winter.
Hello, I scare you with tremendous school debt. I'm Winter, of course. Trash Monk. Aye. That's Trash Monk.
Aye.
That's the best one I've done yet.
Yeah, man, you're killing it.
Yes, now that I've been given the green light by whoever I thought I would offend by doing that, it's now A-OK, ladies and gentlemen. And, you know, it is fine over here being a nerd up in the mountains for the Central Valley quadrant of the nerd.
Yeah, he's a mountain nerd. He has a knife just for filleting. It's real.
Filleting anime nerds.
Yeah, man. Filleting your favorite manga, nerd.
I don't read manga. It's backwards. This is America. You flip that comic.
You flip that comic. I want to see a Spider-Man. How dare you?
Right.
That's what I want. I want ignorant nerds. I want ignorant nerds that are like, what's a manhwa?
Yeah. Well,
I thought it was just a manga.
I do think there are ignorant nerds, but when you attach that nerd part to it, they're ignorant to the point of what they spend hours and hours of studying. They're ignorant to real life situations.
Well, that's just being a nerd, man. That's being a geek. It's like,
right, there's some nerds out there, because I've been watching some YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I watch some YouTube. You might know that. So, this is going into how my week was. There are the nerds like us who are knowledgeable, but we also have things going on outside of our lives.
Yeah.
Yes. If I could say that much. Then there is the nerds that are known as players of EVE Online.
Damn. The call out is so real right now, man.
Yes, where there is a guy, there's a 10 or 15 minute documentary. I can't remember. I was in a trance talking about this one guy who's very prominent in the EVE community, and talking like he is a African warlord on EVE Online.
Okay.
Essentially talk about how he strikes fear in the hearts of players and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And also the thing is, like, they said something about how he never logs into the game.
So what is he doing? He's just like grandstanding and never plays the game? Shows up?
I'm predicting what they're saying is that the way he plays the game is by going into forums and starting battles and like rallying people. And he's like the guy who gathers the troops up for clans. That's how he plays this game. So that's like that is like taking ignorant nerdiness to a level to where, like, when they're interviewing him, he's acting like he is okay. This is not me saying anything, so relax, guys. He's acting like he's the Donald Trump of EVE Online. Okay, saying that, and he's acting like he's Donald Trump, but then acting like he's the Joker in the same sense.
I can't with any of this, man.
Yes. And then there's going on, like, there's stories of like people spending months infiltrating clans, getting into their funds, and then like removing people from access to these funds, like stealing millions of
I've heard of that.
in-game currency.
Yeah. I heard of that.
And there's people now, okay, get this, they're called space historians, that what they are known for is tracking the history of EVE Online.
Okay.
And now there's going to be books written apparently about EVE Online. There's been and
I love it.
like,
I love it, man.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, whatever happened to like classy nerdiness?
No, man, you got to take it to the next level. You have to take it to the next level, man. Like, there is a thing out there, and it's just for fighting game heads, and it's this thing called Tiamat's Plot Guide, mind you. It's strictly for Street Fighter. And for everyone who knows, Street Fighter has one of the most convoluted storylines of all time. Spread across multiple games, movies, animes, and comic books. So there's this guy, Tiamat, that spent hours combing the databases of all this knowledge to make one coherent story from start to finish about the history of Street Fighter. No one else has taken time to do this, mind you. And it's so good that Capcom themselves kind of sometimes dip into what he's written to use it as basis for their new content. This is some random guy like on GameFAQs,
right? Decided
to write the Cimmerillion of Street Fighter knowledge. You know what I mean? He's like if you ever wondered what a Hadouken tasted like, it tastes like mint. Because Tiamat said so. You know what it feels like to be hit by a sonic boom? It's like when, you know that feeling when a car drives past your car really fast and your door shakes and it kind of freaks you out a little bit? A sonic boom is similar to that because Tiamat said so. He is the Street Fighter historian. He's taken his love and nerdiness for Street Fighter to another level that no one else has dared dream can be reached.
So maybe I don't mean ignorant nerdiness, an ignorant nerd. Maybe I don't mean that. Maybe it's just like God mode nerd. Where it's like they've ascended to a higher plane of nerdiness.
Yeah,
to where they're eating their own. We're like, I don't want to say it.
No, we're masters of the Nerdiverse, right? We consider ourselves masters of all things nerd. These are like the celestials of the Nerdiverse. These guys. These are, these dudes are on a whole nother wavelength of comprehension and technology. We're down here trying to make fire with sticks, and these guys are using their iPads. Like, oh, aren't they cute?
Or more like the H.P. Lovecraft ancient ones.
These are the old ones of the Nerdiverse, dude. Like, these are cats you don't want to be in a conversation with because no matter what, even if you love something, like I like Clive Barker and Hellraiser and horror movies, there's some cats out there that will blow me out the water, and I'm just sitting there like, what? Like, you don't want to talk to these people because they're just too next level. They can only talk to other next level beings. You know what I mean? They're like Mr. Mxyzptlk from like the 12th dimension. Just there's some Overwatch guys that know like the okay. Speaking of which, remember when Sombra was being teased? Remember how the months ahead of Sombra being teased, there was all this weird like hints in the game, and like there was like this big giant brick wall of like raw computer text that guys had to comb through to get like her location and stuff like that. That's a celestial of the Nerdiverse, the guy who figured that out, who spent hours and hours combing through to get that out there. That's a celestial of the Nerdiverse, man. This is somebody who's willing to dedicate. I know it's like the guy who built the Starship Enterprise in Minecraft to scale.
Yes,
that's a celestial of the Nerdiverse. He's up there in the clouds.
Plane. Like, so is our Nerdiverse in a a Buddhist or Hinduistic style belief idea where they've reached a higher plane of existence.
They've ascended, my good man.
There
They're the Super Saiyans of Masters of the Nerdiverse, dude. They're the Super Saiyans, though. We're grimy Saiyans, like following the words of Lord Frieza. These guys are in full Golden Azaru mode, throwing planets at each other.
So this means also, in my mind, this would mean that there's some that have ascended the other way, where they've gone darker, like Hellraiser level.
Yeah. For every opposite, for every positive, there's an opposite side. So they're the next level godlike celestial nerds that do things that are beyond the contemplation of man. Yes. And then there's
who are those people?
Those are the celestials of the Nerdiverse, dog.
But I'm saying, like, those who are the opposite of
those are the opposite. These are the guys who send death threats to Zack Snyder because he ruined Justice League.
Okay, we're just trying to work out the MOTN official canon.
The pantheon,
yeah,
the pantheon of the Nerdiverse, man. For the ultra enlightened celestials, these are the guys who get mad at homegirl who played Starfire in the Titans show and just send her racist crap until she leaves Twitter. That's the negative of it all. These are the self-entitled nerds who feel like, I'm protecting the canon and I get to be racist now. Yeah. That's the complete opposite.
So where would Austin be in this situation?
Austin's among us, dog. He walks with us, man. We walk hand in hand in the amber waves of grain, dog. That's you know what I mean? He's one of us, dog.
Let's walk right into the news.
I want to go over my week. I have things I want to talk about real quick.
Okay. So
what I've done really quick. I want to go into the news so we can get it done, but I just want to talk about some things real quick. Really quick. Played Spider-Man, The Heist, the new DLC for the Spider-Man PS4 game. It's okay. It was like a 3-hour campaign for $10. It's fine.
3-hour tour.
It was a 3-hour tour. I recommend it if you love the game. It's not as good as the main campaign, but it's not horrible. I finished The Haunting of Hill House. That is a really good show, not just on a horror base, but like on a psychological, like emotional roller coaster. I can't say enough about The Haunting of Hill House. Watch it. It's on Netflix. But on the other side of that, I also watched the first 4 episodes of the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix. I'm not sure if you know what that is.
I've heard of it.
This is the retelling of, remember that show, Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Yeah.
With Melissa Joan Hart and all that. And
I feel like we've talked about that show on here, about that stupid cat.
Yeah. Freaking Salem that plays the piano and stuff. It's a super. Right. This show was not that. The main reason I want to bring this up, because this is a PSA to all of the nerds who have children and who have kids. Don't let them watch this show. It's not for children. This is not Salem talking mess like Alf to Sabrina, talking about, I love me some chimichangas, and he's playing the maracas. No, the show has heavy stuff going on a bunch of different levels. Is it good? I like it so far, but it's not for everyone. It has heavy. I hate to say, it has heavy satanic overtones. Like not just try hard. It's not just try hard satanic stuff. It's no, you accept the Dark Lord. like what? Okay. There's oaths taken.
3 all over again.
Okay. Jeez, man. There's an actual Satan in the episodes I've seen so far. It's him.
Is it the cat? Just let me know if the cat's in this again.
The cat is in this, and the cat is not what you expect it to fucking be. Pardon my French. It's intense. Uh-oh. It's undercut with comedy, but for the most part, it's not for children. In my humble opinion, it's good so far. If you can get past all that stuff, There's sometimes where it's horrifically violent, and then it like hard cuts to a joke, and it's like that's too much of a hard cut, my good man.
You got to break the cut down.
You got to smooth out that cut. You can't punch me in the gut and then give me a lollipop. My stomach still hurts.
Okay. Before we go on, that brings up a thing that I made up today, just off the fly. Just talking about how someone says something and then you don't understand them, and when you try to get clarification, it just confuses you more. So then I said, it's like when you open up a fortune cookie, you read the fortune, you don't understand it, so then you open up another fortune cookie to get the answer to that.
Yeah, you're pretty much describing Death Stranding right now. The more information we receive, the more you're confused, to the point where you just don't care anymore.
Yep. Or you sing that Logic song, I don't want to be alive.
I hate that song. That song is so, I get it, and it reaches and touches people,
so
but
you can't relate.
I don't want to be alive. Oh my god.
So when he says, who can relate, you go, no,
no,
I'm an old man.
I changed the station, man. My angsty days are over. Every day is a gift, my good man. Maybe when I was like 15 listening to Linkin Park, like you missed me. That was my Linkin Park angsty teen days. I can't do that anymore, man. Those days are behind me. And I'm looking forward into the future. Speaking to the future, let's go into this news now, man. You ready?
Into the news. Into the news. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to remix that later. I'm gonna add some really stupid dubstep to that. Just that one part of the episode.
Yep.
It's a really gnarly dubstep, dog. You guys will love it. I know you will.
Got to love it.
You must love it.
You're gonna like the way it sounds.
I guarantee it. You're gonna like the way it sounds. I guarantee it. Speaking of things that people are going to guarantee you like, I'm skipping the first part of the news because I'm like, meh. Disney is planning to reboot the Pirates of the Caribbean sans Johnny Depp. Is this the best or worst idea you ever heard?
Well, I actually watched a video on this on the Tube of You. Joe Rogan was talking to Joey Diaz, so two people who have no connection to Johnny Depp, talking about how Johnny Depp isn't looking good right now. I think there's something actually going on in Johnny Depp's life where he can't do this. He can't go on. Wait, we're not even talking about Johnny Depp, to be honest with you, but
he's tied together to this franchise.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
This is like connected to, he was supposed to star in a movie based on the guy who John McAfee, who created McAfee antivirus software.
Yeah, that nutty story.
Yeah, that guy. How he's not a sitcom yet, I do not know.
I do not know.
But
that guy's a damn.
But he got pulled out. So now Michael Keaton is playing that John McAfee. There was a video. Yeah, there's a Johnny Depp movie where he was playing a detective who's like trying to solve the crime of Biggie and Tupac being shot.
Mm-hmm.
And that was already done filming, and they pulled it off from release because of a dispute he's having. Johnny Depp is, and now they're being sued.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty scary right now for Mr. Depp.
Is he having health issues, or is it just the whole Amber Heard thing is breaking him down?
Self-health issues, I believe.
That's the worst, because it's like you can't just prescribe something to clear that up. That's an internal struggle. I mean, there are prescription medicines that can help with that, but it's really on him. Isn't he coming out with that new Harry Potter spinoff, The Crimes of Grimwald? Isn't that coming out soon?
And I think that's also connecting with it, because the way I've heard it from other people was like, if you listen to like Doug Stanhope online talk about this, how he was friends with Johnny Depp, and you would never see that about Doug Stanhope, who is like an obscure, he wants to be an obscure comedian, so to say. and it's like, yeah, we're friends, but then once Pirates of the Caribbean happened, there was like no like you can't. He doesn't have any time to himself. It's like you can't. It used to be that he can go to a restaurant and eat, but now when he does, people like they won't leave him alone.
Yeah.
So now take that and now add he's now part of the Harry Potter universe.
What did he expect, man?
Right.
Yeah.
So now it's all going down.
That's what I call the Dave Chappelle syndrome, where you become so famous that if you don't like that type of attention, it's the worst thing for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Some people bask in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, give me all the attention. You know what I'm saying?
Give me all the attention.
Give it to me. But cats like,
Where's the attention?
I think Dave Chappelle gave this funny story. He's like, what really broke in my brain was he was at Disneyland with his kids, and people would just go walk up to him like, I'm Rick James, bitch. Like, people would just walk up to him saying silly stuff from his show.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm with my kids.
That.
Yeah, I'm with my kids, man. Like, can you give me a minute? Can I get a minute? And like, he can't, he's like, I can't go anywhere. I can't do it. I can't live my life because I'm too big now. And so everyone thought he went crazy because he was like, I don't want the money. I don't want any of it. I'm just going to go to Africa for like 3 years and just decompress,
Right.
And Johnny Depp's the same way. Like, Johnny Depp moved to France because he just didn't want anything to do with like Hollywood being that close to him anymore. You know what I mean? And he seems like the type where he's like, I just need to deject from this. But then he also likes money. So he's going to be in Pirates of the Caribbean and roll that into Alice in Wonderland and then roll that.
Money?
He loves money, my good man. He must, if he's willing to like subject himself. And now he's rolled himself into a Harry Potter franchise where he's the main villain. Yep. Your face is going to be everywhere. So but going back to Pirates of the Caribbean franchise reboot, without Johnny, it's a hard sell because why were those movies successful? It's all Captain Jack Sparrow, and if you plan to make a film without him, that seems a little gutsy.
We're gonna fight.
Oh, we're gonna fight. Oh, I'm gonna pull out my fist. I pull out my gun. Speaking of fighting, Legendary Pictures is planning to develop a live action My Hero Academia film, or for my anime nerds, no Boku no Academia. Nani? This is the worst. This is the worst thing ever. Like, anime doesn't work through the eyes of through the glaze of Hollywood. It just, there's too much of a cultural disconnect for it to ever work, in my opinion. And
yeah, I got nothing to add about the. I mean, I've never seen My Hero Academia, or I'm very new to the anime world. Okay,
that's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Thanks, Mom.
I'll get you where you need to be. I'll take care of you.
All right.
That's weird. Anyway, I have watched a lot of My Hero Academia. Things went weird. Happy Halloween.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. But yeah, I've watched a lot of My Hero, and I see where they're going for. And no, it's just they want to do Harry Potter meets X-Men, which pretty much what My Hero is. It's just Naruto mixed with X-Men. And just let it be anime, man. Like, it's been proven that anime cannot be adapted successfully to the guise of American audiences. But you know what? There was a time where they said the same thing about comic books, and we're just now getting to a point where we're getting actually decent films based on comics. And, with this Monster Hunter movie coming out, that just makes me want to retch. We're still not getting good video game adaptations on film. Nevertheless, anime. So, I'm not really feeling this, man. I do not want, as they say, as they meme, do not want. But do I want to see All Might Detroit smash somebody through the atmosphere? Sure, why not? Yeah, I'll watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, I'm still going to watch it.
I'm still gonna watch it and see it first date, but I hate it.
Like we all knew the Death Note movie was going to be trash. And don't lie to yourself if you thought it was going to be decent. Okay, people?
You know what's sad is that the Bleach movie wasn't that bad. Comparatively.
Yeah, I don't even have to see the Bleach movie to tell you that Death Note was bad.
Death Note was kind of trash, or as they say in Latin America, basura. Death Note was mucho basura, primo. Speaking of things that are trash, apparently Kathleen Kennedy, like the big head of Lucasfilm now and Star Wars, she pretty much just she's the controller of all the Star Wars, has publicly came out and said, yeah, that Boba Fett movie spinoff is kind of dead. Yeah, that's not happening. I
wonder why, Han Solo,
The Mandalorian. Because you're already having a show created by Jon Favreau that just talks about Mandalorians, which is pretty much the race that Boba Fett's from. So why would you double dip that chip and make a full-fledged Boba Fett movie? And mind you, I love Boba Fett. He's my favorite Star Wars character because he's so mysterious.
You just like saying Boba.
I like saying Boba because it's delicious. You ever have
Boba's
you ever had like a Thai tea? You ever have a Thai tea with boba in it, dude?
Yes.
Delicious.
But again, Michael did not recognize my reference or acknowledge it. I said it while he was in mid-sentence. So
see, you got to sneak him in.
Yeah,
you got to slide.
Boba's hand was on top.
What?
Boba's hand was on top.
I'm not getting this at all.
Nothing but trouble.
Oh, Bobo, not Bo Buds. Bobo.
Close enough, people.
Fair enough. That's a stretch, though. Come on, man.
Yeah, that is a stretch.
Bobo. Those things had ideals, though. They were in there making Transformers in that super scary, like Friday Nightmare on Elm Street level, like car junkyard. That movie's
so the movies. Not I didn't mean to cut you off there, but so the Boba Fett movie that's trashed. TV show is still on the works.
Yep,
it's still happening. So. People are still gonna get their Mandalorian fever on. So
yeah, man, you're gonna see Boba Fett like dudes floating around. I'm Boba the Fett. My backpack.
Boba Fett likes dudes. You hear it here first.
You never know, man.
No,
see
that would. Okay,
what if the Mandalorian's a girl, dude? That would be cool. He takes off the helmet. It's like Boba Fett's mom, dude.
Man, if any of those things happen. If you thought The Last Jedi was like crazy, like if people were upset, you're gonna see some crazy Reddit.
I'm gonna say something real controversial, my good man.
Yeah,
Star Wars fans are not happy people, dog.
That's true.
Star Wars fans are not happy people, man.
Yeah.
They relish in the re. You know that sound? That re. You know the sound of like raging nerds? Yeah. They bathe in that sound.
If they kept making Star Wars films every year and there wasn't a gap, I could see them not being upset because they didn't have enough time to make it like a nostalgic franchise and like have it be this is my baby. This is what I think it should happen. Oh yeah. And then when something happens that's not something that they created or like it was not their idea.
Yeah.
They go,
yeah, that's what happens. And you nailed it. It's like there was such a time gap for people to idolize and put this franchise on such a pedestal that you have the time gap between A New Hope, between the first trilogy, right? Yeah, decades that passed. Of years of people building religions and making cool outfits and all types of crazy stuff, right? And then the prequel trilogy happens, and that's where the re began. That's birth of the re, where people just loved to just crap on it and just call it the worst thing ever created by man. And then there's another time jump, right? Years pass, and then A Force Awakens comes out, and the re awakens. It's like Dracula, is an ancient mummy that wakes up every 10 so years that ruins nerddom all across the world. They wake up in unison. They are legion, for they are many, and they freak out and are angry at any news that drops. It doesn't matter what they say. They're going to be upset. They find no joy. Bread turns to ash in their mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't feel the spray of the ocean on their face anymore, dude. All they feel is the re. That's all that remains, dude.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad. It's rough. They can't enjoy it.
Now, speaking of sad, now you can go on with the next story.
Thank you. Speaking of sad, now that all the Star Wars fans are going to wring my neck.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, this is not a micro ideal. Of course, there are great Star Wars fans out there that actually like the process.
Hey, I like all the Star Wars stuff. You cannot.
Yeah.
I like the prequels. I like the sequels. I like the original quills. So
the original quills, straight up. That's dope. Like, I could find something amazing. I could find something amusing in all of them. Fair enough. All the content, Clone Wars, all that good stuff. Oh man, speaking of finding enjoyment in things, have you read the full PlayStation Classic game list, man? Have you checked this little thing out?
Not yet, not all of it. Name a few names down for me.
Let's if I remember correctly at the top of my head, how about Final Fantasy VII? There's the float your boat. How about Battle Arena Toshiden, guys? What you know about Battle Arena? How about Tekken 3? How about
there we go, my dude.
How about some Tekken 3, my dude? How about I'm missing a ton here because I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Now, I don't want to say anything that's not on the list, but needless to say, it's a fairly good collection of classic PlayStation 1 games. They're going to be on this little portable handheld, not even handheld, portable system that you can take where you want and have a good time. So they had me at Tekken 3. I'm not going to buy one, mind you, but I think it's a cool little thing. Like if you're having parties or something, or you're traveling, to keep it like in a backpack and take into like a hotel room. But like, yeah, man, party over here. Let's play some Destruction Derby. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, do they have any of the Twisted Metals in this list?
Yeah, I think they have like Twisted Metal 1 or 2 or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah. So here's my question. So Nintendo games, there's been enough time from the original NES now that Mario has a nostalgic factor, but there seems to be a difference in these original PlayStation classic games. Do you feel there's a difference in nostalgia between Mario and these classic PlayStation?
I think there is, but I don't think it's as I have a full list here. I'm gonna go through that really quick before I answer your question.
Okay.
So Battle Arena Toshiden, Cool Borders 2, Destruction Derby, Intelligent Cube, Jumping Flash, Mr. Driller, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey, dude. Oh, that's a good one. Rayman, Resident Evil, the director's cut, Revelations Persona, Persona, Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, Siphon Filter, dude. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Wild Arms, Twisted Metal, Metal Gear Solid, Grand Theft Auto, Ridge Racer Type 4. Dude, this thing is balling. But in going through that list and feeling nostalgia over just some names, it's similar to how I felt with like a Nintendo Mini or Super Nintendo Mini for that matter. So I think it's just different generations, It's like I feel more nostalgic for Super Nintendo stuff because that's when I was a wide-eyed kid and video games were the best thing ever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there's somebody out there who felt the same way about the PlayStation or the PlayStation 2. So I think isn't a difference. It's just based on what you were exposed to, So I think there is a market for these little consoles because for the non-geeks like us, I mean the non-geeks who don't live and breathe this stuff, that's something cool to buy for the house. Hey, honey, you want to spend $100-$200 and play Twisted Metal? Remember that game? You know what I mean? Like,
no,
there's a cool market for that.
Oh, yeah.
What?
I just said no. Like I was the honey at that.
Yeah. She's like, no,
pay the bills.
Yeah, I want to pay bills. I got no time for that, man. That's when the divorce starts.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun. PlayStation's wrecking happy homes because he wants to play his Tekken 3 and his wife is not happy.
And PC has an open relationship.
Right. Or it's the other way around, and she's like, "Honey, remember Jumping Flash?" She's like, "Nah, I remember paying these bills though." She's like, "Oh." It's like you have no kids to blame it on. It's like you can be like, "Oh, I'm buying this for the little one so they can play," but you secretly want to play it for yourself. It's like, I don't think our 3-month-old wants to play Twisted Metal. It's like, nah, it's for him. But no, your husband said no, so it's all shut down. And then the fighting starts. But yeah, I think these are finite because there's only so many systems you can go back and do.
Right.
Like, what's next? The Xbox original Mini? Like the PlayStation 2 Mini? Like, it's only so long you can... I know, and marketing guys is rubbing his mustache. Ooh, money.
We can get more money.
We can make money? Question mark?
Oh man.
Question mark? Anywho, speaking of making more money, there was this cool little indie horror game that came out a couple of years ago called Layers of Fear, which was very much... It wasn't like a Boo Haunted House thing, but actually it was. It was kind of like a walking simulator that had cool atmospheric things going on. That's getting a sequel, which I'm excited for because I played the first Layers of Fear and watched it Let's Played and all that. It's just really interesting storytelling kind of walking simulator. And that's getting a sequel. Happy Halloween! So that looks really cool. And did you have any news that you wanted to add, Winter, before I go into Mike's fighting game Power Hour to close out the show?
No, I mean, there's no esports news really that I want to talk about.
Esports. Sorry. That just came out of nowhere.
Just keep it real. I'm gonna go into a comatose state while you're talking about this.
No, while I'm talking about fighting games, just imagine like a little gremlin that's like drinking Mountain Dew and has his mouth full of like crunched Doritos. He's going around going esports.
I'm just gonna
He's like, probably gonna
all my
tables.
favorite sandbox survival games while you're talking.
No, man. I want there to be some weird, creepy goblin in like Dota that just runs around saying esports and stealing people's like life bars and stuff. It's just real creepy. Like, what is that? Like, think about Dobby if he was like drinking Four Loko. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
I'll think about the San Jose Sharks, which is about to start a game in a few minutes.
Go Sharks! No, I don't know. No. What? All right, it's Michael's time for Fighting Game Power Hour. My apologies. Guess what, guys? Nier Automata's 2B is coming to Soul Calibur 6. What do you think about that, Winter? Trash Monk, I. I'm forcing you to engage.
What was that?
I need you to... Nier Automata's 2B is coming to Soul Calibur 6 as a downloadable character. What is your assessment?
Yeet.
Okay, I could take a yeet.
Yeah.
Yeet works.
Cool. New ways to mash buttons for me.
Hey, I'm not mad at you. Play how you want to play, man. Live how you want to live. It's the Addams Family. But anyway, have you heard of the game Nier Automata? Do you know? Have you heard of that game?
Heard of this.
One of the best.
I'm looking at pictures. Yeah,
it's a good game. It's made by the guys who made Nier and Platinum Games, and this is big for Soul Calibur because this is a character that everybody loves, and it's going to bring new players to the game, which is always good. So now this game has Geralt of Rivia, which is the main character of my second favorite game of all time, and 2B from Nier Automata as playable guest characters. And Soul Calibur has always had a history of great and not so great guest characters. So I, for one, am extremely excited to give 2B a go and see how she plays, even though I can't I can't stop playing as Ivy, and I need to stop because I need to play the more of the Soul Calibers. Fixture matchmaking Soul Calibur takes forever for me to get in games. And the second, more weirder part of the Mike G Power Hour is that Miss X from Gal Fighters is coming to SNK Heroines Fusion Frenzy Galactica Dorito chip. That's not the official name. That's the name I just gave it. And Miss X, and I'm going to get very nerdy here, is a inside character from a GBA game that was only like released once. And it's Iori from King of Fighters, but he dresses as a lady and fights in this all girl game. So as a homage to that, they brought back the character as Iori, the dude dressed in like a sailor outfit, like Sailor Popeye. Moon, and he's Mrs. X. And like Popeye, there you go. The kids don't know about Popeye, do they? You think a 15-year-old knows who Popeye is? I'm just saying, like, do you think kids know who like Tom and Jerry are?
No, they don't.
Are Bugs Bunny for that matter?
Big Mouth is.
Oh God! You know what's funny? I've been seeing like nothing but like out of context Big Mouth like gifs on my Twitter timeline. I'm like, what is this show? And I tried watching it on Netflix, and I was like, nah, it's like a worst Family Guy. Yeah. But some people love it. I mean, maybe I need to give it more time. But anywho, I'm not going to play SK Heroines because I don't care. But it's good news that Mrs. X is making a return because that's a hilarious callback. And I love the nostalgia stuff that goes on with callbacks like that. Yeah, man. Oh, I almost forgot the breaking news about Bethesda. So apparently there has been a statement made that there is currently the Fallout 76 beta that's going on right now. And a lot of people are jumping on the beta and getting a full feel for the game. Like as soon as we're done recording, I'm going to watch someone play the beta online just to get a viewing of how it's looking. But apparently there is a bug in the game that will brick and delete all 50 gigs of your beta install.
Well, you gotta be quicker than that.
Oh, you gotta be quicker than that. It's the old man with the dollar, but it's the beta, dude.
Do I play the beta or do I brick my...
No. Do you brick your system and delete all the information? Just wait for the game to come out, my dude. Don't take the risk. No. Don't do it.
But I'm a nerd. I need to play like a...
And this is coming off the heels of like one of the Bethesda spokesfaces was like, "Yeah, you're gonna counter so many bugs. You're gonna love it."
You got a big paperweight on your desk. I love it.
What is wrong? We've gushed about Fallout so much on this podcast. You guys know me and Winter are some of the biggest Fallout marks ever. But you got to do better, Bethesda. You can't have save annihilating bugs. Like I can only imagine what that bug is. What if you poke a death claw with a sword, your game just bugs out, and deletes your whole save file, all 50 gigs? What? I've never heard of anything like that in my life, man. What is that?
Yeah,
help me, Winter.
I can't help you. It's
help me, man.
It's weird. I mean, Bethesda has been, I think, one of the... I can't think of another time that they've had an issue like this before. Or like a game comes out and they've had such an error that it's this bad of an error. Now, have they already fixed it?
Last I checked, no. I just heard that the bug is out there. And that's last I checked Twitter. And everybody's just like, really? And it's like, every Bethesda game that's ever come out ever has been buggy. Right? It's something weird. Like this, it's too open world, and they're just like, no, it's buggy, deal with it. And for the most part, you kind of roll with it. You know what I mean? But this, like,
Makes me wonder.
I don't want any bug
Yeah,
in my
like how
game.
they've had so much time, right, to work on a game. It always
Correct.
boggles my mind that these are things that can still happen after how many hours. Like if we look into like going back to the Rockstar, like how many hours people are working nonstop for a game. It's like they
Yeah.
how do these things get slipped by? And it's a human error issue, of course. Uh
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's just crazy to me.
Yeah. Not, I guess Bethesda doesn't have 10 years and infinite money
Yeah.
like Rockstar did to make the most polished video game of all time. But Bethesda's always been loose with their QA. You know what I mean? They've always been loose. They just push the game out and then severely patch it 2 months down the road when everybody's
Now,
complaining that the
right,
characters are
and it is a
glitching out.
beta, so there you go.
And it is a beta. So you can't be too
Right.
mad at that. But the glitches, it just deletes your 50 gig save file. That's inexcusable. It's not your character glitching through the map or, even your current, even if it was like a
Yeah.
glitch where your save file deleted,
But you
that's
can't
bad
be
enough.
upset when you bite into a cow and then say my steak's not done.
He just reminded me of like Mitch
Yes,
Hedberg. You ever
yes,
heard of that
yes.
comedian?
And you can't be yes,
That's some Mitch Hedberg
yes.
stuff.
Something about escalators. I'm using the stairs. I totally felt it.
You can never
Yeah.
break an escalator because it will just
Yes,
become
that's the
stairs.
joke. I never forgot it.
I saw Wino eating grapes, and I walked to him and said, "Dude, you're gonna have to wait." Hey kids, if you've never heard of Mitch Hedberg, he's a comedian that has like a 2-hour stand-up show of nothing but
Yeah.
one-liners. It's 2 hours of raw one-liners. And the ebb and flow of his show is amazing. He's passed away, Lord rest his soul. But Mitch Hedberg was a classic, dude. I just wish I remembered more off the top of my head. It's so great. It's like you can never get lost in the woods because you could just stop and build a house. And you'll just be home. Oh, that's dumb. What are you looking forward to, man?
I'm looking forward to playing some more League of Legends, getting paid this week, and I'm thinking about buying Overwatch for my computer. Actually, no, that's all in the future. Right now, I'm gonna buy a second screen, and I'm gonna make it a vertical screen, ladies and gentlemen.
Tight,
Yeah.
dude. Upgrading your battle
Yeah,
stations.
because now I have to the left of me, I have a TV screen that I have hooked up to my tower. Then I have a normal screen in the middle, and then to the right, it will be my writing screen, which will be a vertical, and so I can look like a real writer.
A real writer. Then you can start looking like Stephen King or Sutter Kane. You guys don't know anything about
Stephen King
Sutter
came
Kane.
out with a book recently.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a
I didn't know.
review that his book. Someone wrote that the headline was like, "The book is similar to the way Stephen King looks, thin."
That's messed up. Y'all leave Stephen King alone. He's a super old man at
I
this
know.
point, man. He's ultra old. Leave Stephen King alone, man.
I just love
He's a
headlines,
treasure.
people. There's sometimes people
Yeah.
put like so much thought, and you can see them like getting like just a mental like flush in their face, like, oh, this is so good. Like the one I read about the guitarist
Yeah.
of Blink-182 is who's been chasing UFOs is now, I think the book, his company is bankrupt. That the one that was chasing UFOs, and the article was like all
Yeah.
the dumb things.
That's just The Onion.
No,
You know what I mean?
no. This was like a tech blog.
That's just rude. How wooed. That's hilarious, man. For good old Mike G, I'm looking forward to ordering a pizza and just watching some horror movies for Halloween. That's as long as I've planned it out. I'm releasing the final Ready to Scare on Halloween night, which will be the
final Cinnabite, my ex-wife. Okay, go.
Which will be the Julia episode, which is probably my favorite one of the whole batch. We'll also be releasing this episode the same day, so look forward to that. Looking forward to maybe biting the bullet and playing Red Dead Redemption, since the Earth is telling me to do it.
Did I say Cinnabite or Cinnabite?
Just really no difference.
Thank you.
Pain or pleasure? What do you want?
Pain. Give me diabetes, Cinnabite.
Can you imagine a Cinnabite? You're opening the box and you're like, oh crap, the hooks are coming out, and just a warm, steamy Cinnabon comes out. Enjoy this pleasure. It's like, can I get a knife and fork? Yes. How about some milk? No.
We're off the rails, folks.
We're off the rails.
On the space rails. Please.
Speaking of getting back on the rails, if you want to help keep this show on the rails, please check out our Patreon. If you want to support the show monetarily, that is located at mastersofthenerdiversecast.com. And if you wanted to support the show non-monetarily, please always remember to like our post, subscribe to our channel, and comment on our episodes. May that be found wherever you're listening to this beautiful Cinnabite of a podcast. I've, of course, been your host, Mike G.
And I've been your host, Trash Bunk.
And we will always ask you to take that one step beyond. One step beyond. You know that song.